Hello and welcome to Proverb Minutes. Today let's talk about those things that condemn us if we fall into the trap of abiding in the flesh. So let's go right here to 2 Peter 2:9. Then the Lord knows how to deliver the godly out of the temptations and to reserve the unjust under punishment for the day of judgment, and especially to those who walk according to the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise authority. They are presumptuous, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignitaries, whereas angels who are greater in power and might, do not bring a reviling accusation against them before the Lord. Because we're supposed to, in the Lord, celebrate life, celebrate the greatness that time has given to us in coming to understanding those things that have been made and created by God himself. Well, let's just look at this. It's disrespectful to carry these characters of arrogance, rudeness, attacking, unjustified, I call them simpletons because they have no depth of character. And they fill the corridors of our society at all levels, from top to bottom. Hate knows no borders, and the respect that we should have goes hand in hand with those things that the Bible instructs us on to develop: the perseverance, the character, the integrity, virtues of living and caring for one another. And if we can find these things, how blessed are we? Well, let's break this down. Let's just look. What condemns a person? And we all have this. We've all, tripped on ourselves at one time or another, haven't we? Look at the road rage that's out there. I can say that there's been times in my distant past that I have no glory in being arrogant and foolish. But to turn the corner and care for other souls releases one from anger. When you forgive others, then you yourself are released back to a peaceful realm that cannot be achieved if your anger resides in the external creation of the fleshly, quagmire of it all, as best as it can be explained. But here, reserved for punishment, the flesh and the lust of uncleanness. How many orgies are out there or beastliness? The males that turn a single woman into a sex slave, raping, that goes on in the planet, and the lust of men, and probably more so than women. I'm not sure. I'm not an all-seeing seer, but I do see that pornography and its infestation, the poison that it delivers, is very embedded in our society. And you see all the movies and shows where the executive takes on the secretary whether she wants it or not, and how much abuse that has come through things like the Cosby Show, and then when people are freed from their crimes, what justice does man have when people that murder are set free? It's just an injustice for us all. And now with the quagmire of going on, all the things where is justice? Well, where is courage? Where is the forthright character to stand in the truth, in his light? It all seems to have evaporated away into the shadows of darkness, where people cower in the corner, afraid to even speak what the truth may say in the light. Let us come out of the darkness, come to the truth of it all, for our children's sake. And presumptuous, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignitaries. They will say there's enemies of the state and they're in the house. Well, I'd say that people wanting to attack one another are not to the betterment of any country. It's just an immature kindergarten room where people are squabbling down at the bottom, screaming back at one another. Instead of, when I was young, I had respect for adults. But today, since we lack adults and the character is more despicable, our children have lost faith in that man can deliver on his promise of one under God. When the motto comes, more often to, trust no one. And isn't that what we've been reduced to? So coming back to God and having those noble aspirations, having people of character placed in office, previous presidents of all, the noble ones in the founding fathers, say it's a good thing to have somebody with Christian principles. Not that they're going to condemn others or other religions, but there's the qualities that are in the Christian faith is what's desired for all countries, no matter who or where. And self-willed. It's all for me. Isn't that it? And we already know that where envy and self-seeking are, every kind of evil confusion exists there. And we see it in the corridors of our leadership. They're all seeking the free meal, the free lunch, the ride on the money of the workers. The free ride for the rich. And they're not afraid to speak evil of dignitaries. Do you really think that these people are not attacking one another up at the top? And we see it even in the news. The news seems to attack more than they attack, and they feed into this frenzy of innuendos and suggestions of violence. And these are our leaders that are for the people? No, they're not for the people, brethren. Our governments around the world have collapsed into selfishness and the greed of obscurity for the benefit of all. It's not there. And so to return to this, we need to return to scriptures where we get that noble character. And we trust in our public servants. It's not defund the FBI, defund the police, defund all authority. What, defund God? You can't take away what God has already given. For he loves us more than we can possibly love him back. And that's the patience in the glory of his grace that he's given to each one of us. So let us, go out and help someone today. If you've liked Proverb Minutes, I'm trying not to be too harsh, but the cynicalism and the bitterness of disappointment, it has to be in any rational heart where our children are tortured in the ongoings of what's happening in the world today, environmentally wise, and the list goes on and on and on. If we can truly bond together and work together, then we'll be able to sleep at night. Even the good word tells us, a man that puts in honest work is able to sleep peacefully at night. But those that scheme and plot and attack, they have restless nights. They wake up tortured. So who goes away justified? The accuser or the repenter? It's pretty obvious the answer. Go out and help someone. Thanks for coming. Subscribe, like the channel. Bye-bye.